First Corinthians chapter 10, and I'm reading in the KJV. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye would be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink. For they drank of the spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ. But with many of them God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted, neither be idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 23,000. Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer. Now all these things happened unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. I speak as to wise men, judge ye what I say. The cup of blessing which we bless, is it not the communion of the blood of Christ? The bread which we break, is it not the communion of the body of Christ? For we being many are one bread and one body, for we are all partakers of that one bread. Behold, Israel after the flesh, are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? What say I then, that the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything? But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to God. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and also the table of devils. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth. Whatsoever is sold in the shambles, that eat, asking no question for conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. If any of them that believe not bid you to a feast, and ye be disposed to go, whatsoever is set before you eat, asking no question for conscience sake. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that showed it, for conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. Conscience, I say, not thine own, but of the other. For why is my liberty judged of another man's conscience? For if I by grace be a partaker, why am I evil spoken of for that for which I give thanks? And whether therefore ye eat, or drink, or whatsoever ye do, do it all to the glory of God. Give none offense, neither to the Jews, nor the Gentiles, nor to the church of God, even as I please all men in all things, not seeking mine own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved. Okay, so this passage, I think what struck me and really kind of emphasized what the whole passage was about was verse 33, even as I please all men in all things, not seeking mine own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved. And so if you look back at the context of like chapter 8 and 9, a lot of this is talking about how as Christians, yes, we're free. You can eat, you can drink, all of these things, especially as they're talking here to a lot of Jewish believers, and they're free now from the law and these different things, and they can eat and drink, and but in that freedom to also remember like the company you're in and be respectful if people are struggling to that what you're doing is profiting the people around you. Even if you're free to drink, You know, if there's an alcoholic sitting with you, maybe don't do that, because if it's going to cause them to stumble as a new believer, that kind of thing, right? Or if you've got a new, in this case, there were, say you had a new Jewish friend and they're new in their faith, and you go and you sit down and you partake in what they believe is maybe something offered to idols, you know, that may just cause them to stumble, and maybe it's better just to not partake in that. But at the same time, if you're in the market and you just go and buy something and eat it, like, you don't need to be like totally paranoid all the time. Is God okay with this or not, or whatever? Because in the end, we are not saved by the works that we do. We were saved once and for all by what Jesus did at the cross. Past, present, future, all our sin is taken care of, and we don't need to live in fear that somehow something we're going to do or say is going to like take our salvation away. So we're free, and we're not in burden to these things anymore. So